Look around the world today and you see human skin in countless shades, from deep brown to pale beige, golden, red, olive, and between. But here is the strange question. If all humans belong to one species, why do we look so different on the outside? Long before passports, borders, or modern ideas of race, our ancestors were simply bodies moving under different skies, trying to survive. Skin color was not born as a social label. It began as a biological conversation between sunlight, climate, migration, and time. Imagine a prehistoric human standing under a burning sun, with no roof, no sunscreen, no sunglasses, and almost no shade. Every day, the sky touched the body directly. The skin was not decoration. It was the first wall between life and the world. And that wall had to solve a dangerous problem: how much sunlight should enter and how much should be blocked. Too much ultraviolet radiation could harm the body. Too little ultraviolet radiation could also create problems, especially for making vitamin D. So, human skin became a living compromise, balancing protection and access, darkness and light, danger and need. This is why skin color is not a simple story of beauty, value, or superiority. It is a story of adaptation. To understand it, we have to travel back before cities, before farms, before clothing covered most of the body. We have to return to ancient humans walking across open landscapes where the sun was not background detail, but a force. The same sun that warmed them could damage them. The same light that guided them could also become a silent pressure. And over thousands of generations, that pressure helped shape one of the most visible differences among human beings. The story of skin color begins not with difference, but with survival under the same ancient sky. Early human ancestors were not like fur-covered animals hiding from sunlight under thick coats of hair across the hot ancient landscape every day. At some point in our evolution, the human body became more exposed, with less body hair, more sweating, and more sunlight touching skin. That change likely helped humans stay cool while walking, running, gathering, and hunting through hot, open environments where overheating could become dangerous. But losing much of our fur created a new problem. Suddenly, the skin itself had to face the sun directly for hours. Imagine the Wonder Stickman ancestor stepping onto a hot savanna, tiny shadow beneath his feet, bright sky pressing down above him. He has no modern clothing, no brick house, no cold drink, only skin, sweat, movement, and the small group beside him. In that world, skin was a survival surface. It cooled the body, sensed injury, held moisture, and guarded what was inside. But sunlight was complicated. It carried visible light, warmth, and invisible ultraviolet rays that could change the chemistry of skin. Ultraviolet radiation is not just sunshine. It can damage cells, influence nutrients, and create selective pressure over many generations. So as early humans became more exposed, natural selection faced a challenge. Protect the body without blocking everything useful. The answer was not invented overnight. It was not planned. It emerged slowly through small differences affecting survival and reproduction. Some bodies produced more protective pigment, some produced less. In different environments, those differences could begin to matter. Near strong sunlight, darker pigmentation could be a powerful shield. In weaker sunlight, lighter pigmentation could offer another advantage over long time. This does not mean one skin tone is more advanced. It means different environments rewarded different biological solutions. The human palette began because the world itself was not the same everywhere humans went, and the sky kept changing. The key player in this story is melanin, a natural pigment produced inside the skin, quietly shaping how sunlight enters the body each day. Melanin gives color to skin, hair, and eyes. But in evolution, it was never just about appearance or decoration for ancient bodies under dangerous sunlight. In simple terms, melanin works like an ancient sunscreen, helping absorb and scatter ultraviolet radiation before it reaches deeper tissues. Picture the Wonder Stick Man holding a tiny dark umbrella over his skin. That umbrella is not perfect, but it changes everything. People with darker skin generally have more active protective melanin, especially eumelanin, which helps reduce ultraviolet damage across exposed skin. In regions near the equator, where ultraviolet radiation is intense through much of the year, that protection could be extremely important. Without enough protection, the sun was not just uncomfortable, it could threaten the body in ways our ancestors could not see. There were no laboratories, no microscopes, no words like DNA, folate, or ultraviolet radiation beside the ancient campfire. But natural selection does not need words. It only needs consequences repeated again and again over many generations. If certain pigment patterns helped people survive, grow, reproduce, or protect children, those patterns could become more common. This is why darker skin is strongly associated with ancestral regions of high ultraviolet radiation, especially tropical environments. It was not a random accident. It was a long response to a powerful environmental force. And yet, melanin could not simply block all sunlight, because sunlight also helps the body make something essential. That is where the story becomes more interesting. The sun was both danger and medicine for ancient human skin. Human skin had to protect the body from too much light while still allowing enough light to do useful work. One important part of this evolutionary puzzle involves folate, a vitamin important for cell growth, reproduction, and early development inside the human body. Scientists have proposed that strong ultraviolet radiation can help break down folate compounds when too much harsh sunlight reaches the body. That matters because folate is especially important during pregnancy, early growth, and the formation of healthy cells in every new generation. So in high ultraviolet environments, darker pigmentation may have helped protect folate from excessive sunlight exposure across many generations. Imagine a small prehistoric tribe under the equatorial sun, children walking close to adults, everyone exposed to heat and light. They would not know the word folate, but their bodies were still living through the chemical consequences of sunlight. This is why the story of skin color is not only about sunburn or comfort. It reaches into reproduction and development. But we must be careful. Evolution is rarely one single cause, one simple switch, or one easy explanation. Folate protection is part of a strong scientific model. But human pigmentation also involves genes, migration, diet, culture, and time. Still, the basic idea is powerful. In places with intense ultraviolet light, more melanin could help protect something the body needed. The ancient sun was not asking humans what they preferred. It was testing bodies silently, generation after generation. Those who carried helpful variations did not know they were adapting. They simply lived, had children, and passed something forward. Every shade of human skin is connected to that deep, slow inheritance carried through ancient families and changing landscapes. Not a badge, not a ranking, not a border. A memory of sunlight, written slowly in biology. But when humans began moving farther from the equator, the same protection could create a different challenge. Farther north or south, sunlight changes. The angle of the sun becomes lower, seasons grow stronger, and UVB radiation can drop sharply for many groups. UVB matters because it helps human skin produce vitamin D, a nutrient important for bones, immunity, and many quiet functions inside the body. If skin blocks too much UVB in a low sun environment, the body may struggle to make enough vitamin D across the year. So, as some human populations moved into regions with weaker UVB, lighter skin could become useful over long periods of adaptation. Again, this was not better or worse. It was a different solution to a different sunlight problem faced by ancient humans. Picture the Wonder Stick Man now, in a colder northern landscape, under a pale sky, wrapped in simple animal hides against the wind. The sun is weaker. The air is colder. The body is covered more often, so skin receives fewer chances to make vitamin D. In that world, less melanin could allow more UVB to enter the skin when precious sunlight was finally available. This is the great trade-off. Darker skin protects better under strong UV, while lighter skin can help vitamin D production under weak UV. Human skin color became a balance between blocking harm and allowing benefit, shaped by sunlight that could both help and hurt. It is not a straight line from dark to light or from ancient to modern, as many people imagine. It is a map of environmental pressure, shaped by where people lived, how much sun reached them, and how they survived. The same species, facing different skies, found different balances between protection, vitamin D, movement, clothing, food, and time. And once humans began migrating widely, the number of possible balances multiplied across climates, seasons, diets, and ways of life. The human body did not change because people were separate kinds of humans. It changed because the Earth itself was varied. Human migration made the story even more complex. People did not stay forever in one sunlight zone or one ancient landscape. They crossed deserts, forests, mountains, coastlines, ice margins, river valleys, and open plains where sunlight touched skin differently. Some groups moved quickly in evolutionary terms. Others stayed in similar environments for very long periods, letting local pressures build. Over time, skin pigmentation interacted with latitude, altitude, cloud cover, clothing, diet, and seasonal behavior in complicated ways. This is why skin color cannot be explained by a single rule, like hot places dark, cold places light. The real story is richer. High mountains can have intense UV. Coastal diets can provide vitamin D. Clothing can reduce sun exposure. Culture changed the pressure on skin. Fire, shelters, animal hides, tools, and food all became part of the equation. In some places, diet may have helped provide vitamin D, reducing the pressure for lighter skin in low sun environments. In other places, heavy clothing and weak sunlight may have increased the need for skin that used sunlight efficiently. So every population story is a mixture. Biology, environment, movement, food, technology, culture, and chance across deep time. The Wonder Stick Man walks across a symbolic map, not with borders, but with sunbeams, shadows, snow, rivers, and firelight. His descendants do not all look the same, because they did not all live under the same sky. But beneath the surface, they remain profoundly connected. One species, one ancestry, one long human journey through changing light. Modern people often see skin first, then invent stories around it, forgetting the ancient survival pressures beneath. Evolution tells the story in reverse. First came survival, then came difference. And only much later came the meanings humans attached. Here is the most important myth to break. Skin color does not measure human worth, intelligence, courage, or destiny under any ancient sky ever. It does not measure civilization, goodness, strength, or belonging. Around the first fires, every hand needed warmth, food, safety, and the group. Those meanings were invented much later by societies, politics, fear, power, and misunderstanding, long after sunlight had already shaped human skin. In prehistory, skin color was not a flag, class system, or moral sign. It was simply part of a living body. It was a biological response to sunlight and environment, shaped slowly across generations by survival, reproduction, movement, shelter, and food. Long before anyone drew borders on maps, bodies carried maps of another kind: sunlight, latitude, season, climate, and ancestry. A darker shade might remember ancestors under strong tropical sun. A lighter shade might remember ancestors under weaker northern light. Many shades in between remember movement, mixture, local adaptation, and the complexity of real human history across changing landscapes. The mistake is thinking difference means distance. In evolution, difference often means the same species solving different problems. The Wonder Stick Man looks at a circle of tribe members, each drawn with a different tone, each sitting near the same fire. No one in that circle is more human than another. The fire warms every hand in exactly the same ancient way. Their skins tell different sunlight stories, but their fears, hunger, laughter, children, and need for belonging are shared. This is the human truth, hidden beneath the visible surface. Different outer shades, but the same ancient need to survive together. We became different because we were adaptable, and we survived because we could change without becoming separate kinds of humans. Skin color is not the story of human division. It is evidence of human flexibility under a changing planet. Today, the ancient map has been scrambled. People move across the world far faster than evolution can follow. Someone with ancestry from high UV regions may now live in a cloudy northern city under pale windows and weak winter light. Someone with ancestry from low UV regions may live under intense tropical sunlight where the old balance suddenly feels different. We work indoors, wear sunscreen, use artificial light, take supplements, travel, migrate, and mix in ways our ancestors never imagined. Modern life has changed the environment around our skin, but it has not erased the old story inside it. Every skin tone is a trace of ancient sunlight, ancient movement, ancient risk, and ancient survival across changing worlds. The differences we see today are not walls. They are footprints left by bodies adapting to the planet. Footprints across deserts, footprints through forests, footprints over snow, footprints along coasts where the sun rose differently. And somewhere behind all those paths, there was always a small group trying to stay alive together. They gathered food, carried children, watched the weather, protected fire, and looked up at the sky for signs. The sky changed from place to place, and over time, the body remembered what the mind could never record. So when you see different skin colors today, do not see a ranking. See a survival archive. See the sun, the migration, the cold, the heat, the hunger, the shelter, and the long road of our species. At the end of that road, imagine humans of many shades sitting around one prehistoric fire under the same night. The flames touch every face differently, but in the dark beyond the fire, all of them are simply human.